Big developments are emerging today, and the conversation is heating up as President Trump puts forward a proposal for $2,000 tariff dividend checks set for 2026. Before we unpack what this could mean, take a moment to like this video and subscribe so more people who rely on clear updates can stay informed. There's only a short time left before we enter 2026, and that means the possibility of these payments becoming real as early as next year is closer than many expected. According to Trump, Americans could see $2,000 refund-style payments funded directly through tariff revenue. And with this proposal being publicly discussed, millions are paying attention and questioning whether this could land right after the new year. Today, we're breaking down the information you absolutely need to know, and the details might surprise you. Now, let's get straight into the discussion. For those of you joining for the first time, welcome. This space exists to help families, workers, seniors, and anyone living on a fixed income understand the benefits and relief programs being promised or debated in Washington. Many people are overwhelmed by rising costs, complicated policy talk, and big political promises that don't always become reality. This channel was created to simplify that information and bring clarity. Over the years, countless individuals have been guided through stimulus payments, tax credits, and benefit updates here. And today we're doing the same with Trump's newly confirmed $2,000 tariff dividend concept. Here's what we know from Trump's latest comments. He reaffirmed his proposal to send out $2,000 tariff-funded dividend checks to most Americans, stating that while the payments won't arrive for the holidays, they are planned for next year. Speaking to reporters while traveling, Trump framed these checks as direct financial support tied to his trade and tariff approach. When pressed on the timing, he was clear. These payments are expected in 2026. With mid-December already upon us, that year is just days away. And that's why this update is so significant. But there's more to the timeline, and it comes in two possibilities. Right after the new year or sometime mid-year, depending on how Congress moves. During a recent cabinet meeting, Trump expanded on his vision, adding that the dividends would be given to Americans while also reducing the national debt. He emphasized inheriting a large debt load, describing it as small relative to the numbers tied to tariff revenue. And then came an even more dramatic statement. Over the next 2 to 4 years, he believes revenue will become so strong that Americans may not even have to pay income taxes anymore. That's a massive claim. We're no longer just talking about a one-time $2,000 check. He's suggesting the possibility of replacing income taxes with tariff income altogether. As expected, these bold promises have gripped the attention of millions waiting to see what actually comes next. Let's talk about why this $2,000 payment matters so much right now. A recent Gallup analysis revealed grocery prices have jumped roughly 21% over the past 3 years. That means $100 worth of groceries just a few years ago now costs over $120 for the same items. Many families cannot consistently afford 3 meals a day. Seniors are stretching medications, parents are skipping meals, and fixed-income households are struggling more than ever. The affordability crisis is real, and political leaders are aware of it. Analysts believe Trump is also pushing this proposal strategically in response to recent election losses where affordability was a key message used by opponents. Regardless of political angles, one truth remains: people need help, and Trump says he intends to deliver it. Now let's break down the part everyone wants to understand. Who would actually qualify for this $2,000 tariff dividend check? Based on Trump's statements and previous similar proposals, here's the clearest picture we have. First, income limits. Trump stated these checks would go to everyone except high-income people. Analysts are using earlier legislation such as the American Worker Rebate Act as a reference, which suggested a $100,000 income cap for individuals. That means if you earn $100,000 or less, you would likely qualify for the full payment. For families, parents working multiple jobs to keep up with expenses and earning under the threshold would also qualify. Seniors receiving Social Security, retirement, SSI, SSDI are expected to be included. Even those who don't normally file taxes should qualify as long as tax information is filed for the year. Veterans receiving VA benefits or pensions would be eligible under the same income limit. People with disabilities receiving Social Security benefits would also qualify, regardless of filing status. Low-income households with zero earnings who still file taxes with zero income should still receive the payment. Filing is key because it allows the IRS to verify eligibility. Unemployed individuals with annual income under the threshold would also qualify. Now, here's a major difference from the pandemic-era stimulus checks. Trump stated clearly this payment is for U.S. citizens only. That means green card holders, visa holders, asylum applicants, and undocumented individuals would not qualify under the current description. Now, let's address the biggest challenge facing this proposal: congressional approval. This check cannot be issued by executive order alone. A bill must be drafted, approved by the House, approved by the Senate, and then signed by Trump. As a reminder, earlier this year, Senator Josh Hawley introduced a bill proposing a $600 worker rebate, and it didn't even reach the debate stage. If $600 couldn't move forward, can $2,000? That's a major question. Some lawmakers, particularly those concerned about the national debt, have raised objections. They argue the country cannot expand its deficit further. However, Trump claims this payment wouldn't add to the debt because tariff revenue would fund it directly. But that brings up another complication. The Congressional Budget Office recently lowered tariff revenue projections, raising concerns about whether the funding level Trump anticipates is realistic. Additionally, the Supreme Court will soon rule on presidential emergency authority used to impose these tariffs. If that authority is restricted or overturned, the proposal could face major difficulties. Despite the obstacles, public support for the checks is extremely high. According to a new poll, roughly 71% of voters approve of tariff dividend payments, a level of support that crosses party lines. When over 2/3 of Americans support something, lawmakers feel real pressure. Representatives want to reflect the priorities of their voters, especially as midterm elections approach. Now let's talk about the realistic timeline. Trump said plainly that the payments would come next year, meaning 2026. Here's how that timeline could unfold. Scenario 1. January through February 2026. If a bill is introduced immediately and Congress moves fast, votes could happen by late January or early February. This would be the fastest possible timeline. Scenario 2. March through May 2026. A more likely scenario is that a bill is introduced in January, debated through early spring, and voted on later. If passed, the IRS would need a few weeks to set up the distribution system, leading to payments around April or May. Scenario 3. Mid-2026. If debates drag on or significant amendments are added, payments may not appear until summer. Here's the honest truth. As of now, no formal bill specifically proposing these $2,000 payments has been introduced. Trump is talking about the plan repeatedly and publicly, but until a bill number exists, this remains a proposal rather than active legislation. Let's quickly outline key differences between this proposed payment and pandemic-era stimulus checks. First, funding. Relief during the pandemic was funded through general Treasury borrowing. These proposed payments would theoretically come from tariff revenue. Second, eligibility. Pandemic checks went to citizens and many legal residents. These payments are described as citizens only. Third, income thresholds. Pandemic checks phased out beginning at $75,000. This proposal appears to use $100,000 as the cutoff. Fourth, possibility of ongoing payments. Trump hinted this could become recurring, potentially quarterly, if tariff income continues to grow. Now let's focus on what you should do to prepare in case this becomes reality. Step 1. File your taxes. Even if you earn nothing or rely solely on Social Security or disability, filing ensures the IRS has your information. Step 2. Update your direct deposit details. Make sure the bank information the IRS has on file is correct. If you've moved or changed accounts, update it. Step 3. Verify citizenship documentation if needed. Step 4. Stay alert for scams. As soon as relief checks enter the national conversation, scammers appear. Remember, the IRS will never call or text you to ask for your information. Step 5. Stay connected to reliable updates. Notifications will help you catch every development. Step 6. Contact your representatives. Public pressure matters, especially when 71% of voters support these checks. Step 7. Plan ahead. Think about how you would use the $2,000 wisely. Now let's discuss who is likely excluded. high earners above $100,000, non-citizens, including green card holders and visa holders, based on Trump's wording, people who do not file taxes, and individuals with certain debts, depending on how the bill is written, may see reduced payments due to garnishment for child support or unpaid taxes. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. Trump has repeatedly and publicly committed to these $2,000 tariff dividend checks for 2026, mentioning them in multiple settings. The timeline he's given aligns with the new year approaching. What remains uncertain is how Congress will respond, how the Supreme Court's ruling may influence tariff authority, and whether enough revenue exists to support this plan. The best advice? Stay hopeful, but be realistic. Don't base urgent financial decisions on money that isn't guaranteed yet. Let's close with this. If this payment comes through, it could be life-changing for millions. It could cover essential repairs, groceries, medical expenses, or overdue bills. But even if this specific plan doesn't pass, there are always new programs, updates, and financial resources worth knowing, and you will continue to receive them here. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates coming soon.